Looking for more ways to be involved around UNCP campus? Our main goal is to help promote campus recreation and all the club teams that they offer, from basketball to soccer to even a sports trivia night.
Campus recreation offers more than just intramural sports. They offer trips such as whitewater rafting and rock climbing that are off campus. They provide dance and aerobic classes that students can take. Justin Winans, the director of Campus Rec, discusses the benefits students can gain from utilizing campus recreation.
Give them an opportunity to participate in a lot of activities on and off campus, develop strengths and goals for themselves, and to develop a wellness and lifelong learning practice.
We asked if Campus Rec felt like students took full advantage of what they have to offer.
I don't. I think some of that comes down to knowing what is available. The marketing and branding we do in this office, we do to the best of our abilities. We try and get the word out for as much as possible as far as our activities, what's available to the students. But also it comes down to what the students are interested in doing, what their level of engagement is on this campus, and how often they venture out of their comfort zone and are willing to participate in some of the activities that we do provide.
We wanted to know how Campus Rec decides what events to hold and how to get more students involved. Associate Director of Programming, Dana Moore Lopez, explains how they get their ideas for different programming strategies and how to make improvements within their office.
The biggest one that we currently use is we ask our students for their input, mainly the folks that are working in our program, because they kind of heartbeat on what the student body wants. So we take ideas from some of our meetings and stuff, and what's worked in the past, what hasn't worked in the past, and if they've seen any other events that's going around at other colleges and campuses and things like that. We also go to conferences, and that helps us kind of stay on top of the trends within our industry.
Campus recreation has seen many improvements over just the last year. Dana talks about the most improved activity that is offered through the office.
Our club sports expansion. Last year we had probably 4 active club teams. This year we're closer to 11. So that's kind of nice. And those club teams are traveling to other colleges and playing against other universities. And then we also host here on campus.
With the improvements that have already been made, campus recreation is looking forward to a positive future.
Really excited about those students who lead those programs and where they're taking them hopefully into the future.
Hurricane Matthew before Matthew hits.
Powerful hurricane.
Monster hurricane. Hurricane Matthew.
On October 8, 2016, Robeson County and the UNC Pembroke community were not prepared for the worst possible outcome that Hurricane Matthew could bring.
After the devastating events that happened after Hurricane Matthew, many different emergency personnel have been sent to UNC Pembroke to help with the hurricane relief efforts. As UNCP students, we appreciate all the efforts that have been made to help clean up our community.
All storms change paths and are unpredictable until they make landfall. Hurricane Matthew made an unexpected direction change and headed right toward our area. Chancellor Robin Cummings recaps a week of Hurricane Matthew.
You know, we were tracking the storm very closely with the National Weather Service, and at the last minute, Matthew decided to come a little more inland than everyone predicted he would. And so I think that sort of caused folks to adjust their thinking.
When a storm hits, a lot of things are running through your mind. For Chancellor Cummings, he was worried about keeping the remaining students on campus safe more than anything else.
Just had to prepare for it and what we should be doing, and obviously the safety of our students. I think I know a lot of our students realized that the storm was maybe coming this direction whenever the weather station started changing their reports. And but we still had about over 800 students on campus. So when we realized that it was in fact coming more inland, we changed our attention from worrying. We were actually worried about Wilmington. We were thinking okay, we're going to get some rain here, but they're really going to get hit. So how can we help Wilmington? How can we help Elizabeth City? And so we changed our thinking to now, okay, we got 800 students, what do we do?
With no power, services were limited. Another concern was how to keep students calm and safe, as well as getting them meals, whether they had a meal plan or not.
So we placed an officer in each dorm and made sure that the dorm access to and egress from the dorm was controlled. We did all we could to provide for electrical safety in terms of, we know the electricity went out, but we still had the emergency lighting placed there. We prepared meals. We worked with Sodexo. Sodexo is the company that provides our food service on campus. They were a great partner during this time, and so we worked with them to prepare box lunches. And if students could not get to the food, then we actually had officers who waded through, waist-high water to get to the dorms to bring them food. And so we just, whatever we could do, but we wanted, the initial thing was, where are they? Where are they located? And not just those on campus, but those off campus. So we focused on just identifying where students were and helping them.
Chancellor Cummings also talked about flooding and how bad water rises in Pembroke. With Pembroke being a low-lying area, county and town officials, as well as the governor, have discussed possible ways to eliminate this reoccurring problem.
Our goal is to have the Army Corps of Engineers come in and look at this entire area. And water flows from one area, it's going to flow to another area, and if you get in its way, it's going to flood you. So our goal is, how do we say the water's coming in this direction, here's a canal, here's a ditch, we're going to drain it into the appropriate area. So short answer to your question is, we need to have an expert group like the Army Corps of Engineers come in and just study this area, study the flood pattern, and say, well, here's how we can fix that.
With Pembroke and Robeson County being a very small community, everyone is extremely close. This is easily seen after a natural disaster. The efforts that have been made to help clean up our surrounding areas would not have been possible without the support of our campus and community.
So even the initial tragedy, the initial challenge of the hurricane has been responded to. Now we need to continue to realize that there's still people hurting, and we need to continue to pull together.
On October 9th, 2016, the cleanup process began. Students began packing up their things and finding rides back home. Some roads were still flooded or even washed away. This made travel more difficult. It's been nearly 2 months since Hurricane Matthew ripped through Robeson County and the UNC Pembroke community. Things are slowly but surely getting back to normal, although the recovery process has been very extensive and a very emotional one as well.